Okay, hello and welcome to this Tropical Storm Fay update. It is 11:30. It's almost 11:30. It is about 11:30 on July 10th, 2020. And what did I tell you last night? That Fay was going to be stronger than we expected. And sure enough, it is. As of 11 a.m., let's go to the actual advisory here. We're going to click on it right now. Um, let's pull this up here. All right, tropical storm conditions. We have a tropical storm warning in effect. Let's go right to the public advisory. So, as of 11 a.m., its location 38.4 north, 74.5 west, about 40 miles south southeast of Cape May, New Jersey, and about 170 miles south of New York City. Maximum sustained winds, get ready for this, 60 miles an hour. That's right, 60 miles an hour. It is strengthened. Yeah, I told you it would strengthen up 55, 60 miles an hour. And the pressure is lower too. The minimum central pressure is 999 millibars. That's 29.50 inches. Its movement is north at 12 miles an hour. So we have the tropical storm warnings in effect. Um, and it is max sustained winds are 60 miles an hour, and the center, the maximum sustained winds extend, the tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 140 miles from the center. And a weather flow station at Lewes, Delaware, recently reported a sustained wind of 40 miles an hour with a wind gust up to 50 miles an hour. This storm, and look at it on satellite, folks. This looks very classic and very scary, and I'm very worried about deteriorating weather conditions in our area with this storm here. You can see the center is clearly over water, and I think it stays over water. Um, and you can see it's tapping into the energy of that warm water, and you can see here the main part of the storm is going to be this front end right here with the very strong, with the really strong southeasterly fetch coming in, bringing in the moisture. You can clearly see that on the satellite. We're going to go for a better satellite view. Let's go to tropicaltidbits.com and load their satellite up. And you can see here, this is the infrared, by the way, that we're looking at. So it looks a little different on the infrared, but you can see it's a little more impressive on the visible. But you can clearly see that moisture coming right up here, and we can actually change this. We can go to visible. So let's load that visible up. We'll have to we'll have to wait a little bit there. Look at that thing. That's incredible. It looks like it's heading right. Yeah, it is making a hook to the left now. Looks like it's heading right for Atlantic City, Wildwood, Cape May. But you can see, look at that impressive convection there. And you can see that tropical. You can see that tropical feed coming right up. I have never seen this in July. I have never seen it this early in July. This is really scary. You can clearly see that feed of moisture coming right up. I'll draw it for you here. In there is green, I guess. You can clearly see that moisture coming right up. It's going to be a lot of rain. You can see that convection. Look at that. Right up. So this is where the moisture is, right here in this part of the storm right here. Yeah, this is really impressive. I'm just amazed looking at this. I'm just amazed looking at it. It's just, wow. Let's see if we can load another one up here. Let's do the true color zoomed out. And Tropical Tidbits, by the way, is a great site. So thanks to the people who maintain it, because it is an awesome site. This is a little bit of a wider view of it. You can clearly see that tropical connection right there. Look at this thing. I mean, have you ever seen anything like this in July? Let's look at the water vapor as well. Oh wow, that is really, really impressive. So we're gonna look at the models now, even though we're kind of in the middle of this whole thing here. I don't have a whole lot of the GFS in here yet, but we have enough of it to at least this is the 12Z GFS, enough of it to determine. Look at this thing, and the models have been behind the curve the whole time. It has at a 1002, it's already stronger than that. Um, and you can see there's that heavy rain slug, has it right over coming very soon. Yes, we'll look at the radar. Actually, I should do that first. Let me do that first. So this is the radar here. You clearly see the heavy rains already arriving. Yeah, it looks like Jersey Shore is getting pounded by heavy rain. Um, Look at that. Some really heavy rain coming in right now, with these rain bands here. It looks like the Jersey Shore is really getting nailed by this quite a bit. Um, It's heavy rain here. Whether we'll get to see any of that, I don't know. But this feed goes all the way back into the tropics, so we'll see some heavy rain. But it's going to arrive here a little earlier, probably more like afternoon, probably. So this thing is moving a little faster than we thought. Let me look at a wider radar view. So this is the wider radar view, and again, you can clearly see that rain is going way back into. It does look like the GFS might have been right about the heavier rain going to the west, but the center is still offshore. But we still have this tropical feed. As long as we're in this tropical feed, then the potential is for heavy rain is there. Okay, go back to the models. So here's a GFS, and you can see that center, and it has the center just southeast of. Has it over the coast, and I think it stays over the coast, but that heavy rain might just wind up going to our west. We may not get into the heaviest rain, but we're going to get into some winds and coastal flooding. And then that thing heads up into the Hudson Valley. We'll look at the total accumulated precip on this. And it looks like it has the heaviest rain just to our west. So I'm thinking that's what might wind up happening. Let's go look at the winds as well, because I think we're going to see some strong winds, especially at the shores. This thing may cause more coastal flooding than we anticipate for the South Shore. This could be, I would say, maybe a couple of steps less than Irene, perhaps. For us, and as far as the impact goes, I'm hoping there aren't a lot of power outages, but as long as it stays strong like it is, I mean, it could cause some. So there's another feature I want to look at in here. Now this is I'll credit Joe Rayo for bringing this up at the Joe and Joe Weather Show. This is the relative humidity at 700 to 400 millibars. So you can see that just really illustrates that moisture. In fact, if we pull out a little bit, you'll be able to see. Go to eastern U.S., you'll be able to see that goes all the way back to the Caribbean. So all that moisture is literally, so the potential for heavy rain is definitely there. And you can see we're in the heart of that. But then it kind of finishes up. So the risk for heavy rain may be at the height of the afternoon, and then after 4 or 5 o'clock, it may actually die down a little bit, at least according to this GFS model here. But I figured I'd show you that, because that's pretty interesting. Thanks to Joe Rail for bringing that up. And you can clearly see also this other low here. That is what's causing this. You got the high over here, the Atlantic Ridge, and then you got this low over here, so it's literally having it pull this in along the coast instead of go out to sea. This low right here. You can clearly see that, how it's having an effect in sort of attracting the tropical storm up and in like that. So very interesting to see that. But we'll go back to a tighter view of the Northeast, and we'll look at some of the other models. Let's go ahead and do that. Look at the NAM. I don't think the NAM has this feature, does it? No. So this is the NAM 12 kilometer. We'll start off with the 12 kilometer, and you can see here again that heavy rain right over the area, probably around 1, 2 o'clock, and then we're done with it. Probably by 4 or 5 o'clock, and that seems to be what we may still have to deal with some wind and some other rain showers. And again, it's stronger than modeled. The whole center is stronger than modeled. And again, that's because of the warmer water temperatures. I was talking about this last night. That the storm is going to be stronger because again, the models, a lot of them, a lot of them work on history. So let's see. The NAM brings that heavier rain more over us. Let's see what the NAM has as far as total accumulated precip here. It's got the 2 inch plus and maybe even some 3 inch plus right over our area. Don't know if that's going to happen or not because right now it looks like it's heading toward more toward Pennsylvania. We'll have to see what happens with that. Let's go ahead and look at the HRRR model next. So this is the HRRR. And you can see it kind of agrees on that westward extent of the rain. I think the moisture is being flung a little more inland, I think. Being flung a little more inland. We'll just put this over here. Look at the reflections here. Radar simulation. And again, yeah, this looks a little more realistic, I think. But there's that. And again, the all the models are underestimating this thing. They're all underestimating the strength of it. It's scary. This thing is 999 millibars, and it might even, I don't think it'll strengthen much anymore, but the fact is this is a 60-mile-an-hour tropical storm. And the models aren't handling it at all. If we look at the wind, they're not even showing 60 miles an hour. They're not even showing it. So, I mean, it's almost like there's no sense looking at the models because none of them got the strength right on this. This is more of like a nowcasting thing already. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull up our observations. And it's scary, when the models have the strength off by a huge amount, and this is what I was talking about yesterday. And the winds have picked up quite a bit over our area already. We got gusts into the 20s. Look at this, a gust of 40 at the Jersey Shore. So this is really disturbing here. We'll use this observation here. South Seaside Park. Temperature 75, dew point 74, plenty humid. Wind speed 27 miles an hour with a gust to 40. So we're already seeing those gusts, and like I said, the center is moving closer and closer. So we're seeing those wind gusts, and again, this wind is going to help push the water in to the Jersey Shore, causing coastal flooding, and as well on the South Shore and probably east end of the island as well today. And temperatures in the 70s, and again, if we look at the dew points, they're way up there, mid-70s as well. So very humid. This is very tropical air, obviously accompanying this tropical system, and it's causing that. So these gusts are really impressive already. I would like to look at some marine observations too. Let's see, Barnegat Bay, water temperature 77. They're not reporting wind. Unfortunately, none of the buoys are reporting wind, which is, at least I can look at some of the other buoy observations and we'll see if we can get some wind from that. And we'll pull up an observations for Long Island. Again, we got the tropical storm warning in effect. It's 80 with a dew point of 72 and light rain at Farmingdale right now. But let's see if we can get some marine observations. This thing just looks so threatening on satellite. Here we go again. Look at this. We'll refresh this again. So threatening on satellite. That image right there is scary. Marine. Let's go to marine here. We'll get some of see if we can get some of the latest summary. They just don't report. I don't know what it is with all this with our buoy network here. There's so many of them are down. I don't understand this. I can't even get the wind speeds on any of these buoys. All right, here's one, Breezy Point. See, I don't know why these don't show up on the other thing. So east at 16, gusting 26. Nothing too terrible. Nothing too terrible. But the ones out in the ocean, it's like most of them are down. We're in the middle of tropical season. We know that we need those buoys working. But nobody's going to talk about it, of course. All right, so I guess the last thing we'll go to is power outages and see how how much of an impact this is having on power outages. It doesn't look like this is New York is up there. 14,000. Are we having a lot of outages on Long Island, or No, there's one upstate. Long Island doesn't have much. There's one upstate. Um, we'll look at New Jersey. Fortunate so far. That's the main thing that, of course, will affect people like us in the middle of the island is power outages. Doesn't look like there's too many right now. So, but I have a feeling that number will go up. There'll be scattered power outages. It won't be widespread, but I think the main threat is going to be that coastal flooding for sure. And wow, what a storm this is. I'll try to post another update again this afternoon about this storm here. Yeah, it was actually one couple more things I want to look at. Actually, I'm not done yet. These things come to mind. Let's look at lightning. There's some lightning. You can see that in the thunderstorms here. Again, this is warm water here, upper 70s to around 80 degrees, and we're only in early July, which is crazy. I can look at the windy.com model if you want, and then we'll wrap this up. This is the European model that this is based on. This is definitely more realistic of what's going to happen, where the center of this thing is. So we'll move this over to 4 p.m. And you'll see the center is now over. It's moving. Euro's a little slow. I think it'll move a little quicker than this. These are the gusts, 40-mile-an-hour gusts. So you can see, and then that strong southerly flow is going to be coming on the south shore of Long Island. So, like I said, a lot of flooding tonight along the shores. I think everybody's underestimating just how bad it's going to be. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be worse than everybody expected. So this isn't just going to be like a nor'easter. This is going to be a little worse. And just warning folks that do live along the water about that. Be prepared for some flooding. This is going to be a beginning to a terrible, I feel. This 2020 has thrown everything it's got. So why not having a bad tropical season on top of it? Why not? That's going to be it. I'll keep you posted on Fay. Take care, everybody, and be safe.